mission and ministry is right here. We are very glad to having you here. It's so important. I'm likely to giving you this as an opportunity that you've been waiting for because it's so important. And with this, I say that it's so important. Let's keep ourselves close and hand in hand, working something very important, something big out here. Yes, it is for this reason we say yes. You need a things. There's no one like this to always come with something very important like having natural things working for you. Check in here before. We are here in the studios where we name this Cocoa Studios. Yes. So cocoa, simply we should have cocoa growing here. And these are original, most original places on earth. And that we say, yes, our house is flourishing with something. But what am I trying to make? A point that I'm making here is that when I show you a leaf, I tell you why it's important to have this around us, especially the function of this leaf. If it's so important to our life and living here, then it will be good to also carry this message across and that we see it as really needful as all who were created by the Lord and His Spirit, led by His power and Spirit and angels, they'll always abide by something, a rule. So those who claim to have grown and are old and really they are the same obstacle you face daily in your life. And for this reason, I say that let's keep doing something that is so, so important. Yes. Something that is so important is right. And let's try to make something here. Um, I'll be talking about a few things here, and those things are natural things, like how God did really come out with certain things. Whether it's possible or not, we still have it as something working. Let's position well that we are not being interviewed by anybody, but our great angels, the Lord Himself that created, the one who made a path for us. Yeah, it's for this reason we are and what we are. And I have a very wonderful message here. There's had to be a spirit, and a spirit is someone leading the path that is not known to human. Yet there's a path in whichever way it is that he can see and you don't see, or that he lives already in that side. And I'm very happy to say this. Let no old man teach you wisdom. Let no old woman teach you wisdom. But what they are, if I tell you, I'll show you one of those things, and you will see why we were not with something that you should look up to for everything you need. Just focus on what you are currently understanding and have that kind of conversation in you. Meditate all day, all night, but give it time also to be guided by the Holy Spirit all the time. Because if you never plant in you something that is clean or holy, you cannot have it. And it's for this reason, before I even open to any dialogue or having any discussion with you here, it is also important that nobody touches on this. And for this reason, I say, subscribe to our channel, and you are the reason we are here. And to someone very important in life, Creator, yes, Almighty. I have a question. Here we are. I need to pick some few information on the screen. With a friend most important to you. Those who really call for it, they always can't wait to have it. So just give them something. Do listen to what I'm saying in spirit and in flesh. Let these two work together. And then you will see why you cannot do without when you are sleeping and when you are also working, like, working. So if you are being used all day or all night, I'm just making a point. I hope you know what I'm saying. So let's just let me leave it there. Sometimes I should humble myself only if I'm being beaten, even if I'm being beaten for you, then you know why. Sometimes I just bust things in the air or the platform that really manage this. Today I change. Yeah, I need to change like this for you to know why I change because I am transformational and the really without you knowing is the reason. So sometimes we could try to point out to you, and that we try to make this known to you, but it's not forthcoming. Not that it's not happening to you, your side. It is happening with us or happening to us. Or the Lord makes it simple. When He's dealing with us, it's so simple that having you or trying to bring you in. And it's for this reason. Mission and ministries will never fail. I tell you, trust the Lord, the Spirit. If I'm also a flesh and spirit as well as living with you, as long as I live and the Lord live, and the most sacred part of our body also works and function daily, support what you need to do. Life is so important. Now, our topic for this is really not something that we should treat as topic, but it's creation. And creation had its own formula and living. So I allow the Spirit of the Lord as of that time to take control right now. And for you who watch this in future, today or yesterday, it may be, some of you would have dreamed of this. Some of you would have been given visions of this. And some of you, you open your eyes, you try to have your eyes happen. Do not miss the opportunity given you this day, especially when someone comes out there to tell you that you need it, you need it, you need it. Take it serious. You need it more. It's really important. Telling you about this, you really have to. On this, we'll be moving to yet another important area of this conversation. Thank you so much. Now, it is written here, God, God. So now, I would like to bring or chip in someone whose kind of grouping is like one God and one dawn. I want to tell you why most of these things are so related to what spirit every time. But sometimes you judge people, you judge, or you are hasting in judging people, whilst you don't even know certain secrets or the background histories of most of the things that we come out with. Yes, I am very glad to have you. You would and share with us your thoughts. Sometimes I welcome people who face certain challenges. Know that if you are not on this path, it will not be yours. If you are not on this same path, or if you are not being, if what I'm saying, you can't receive it because it's not even your level. But then some people are also taken by situation. So if it's by situation, then let's take it like this. You are told it today I've changed and I need to just manage it the way it is right now. Yes, I need to appear this way that we should know what the Lord is able to do. I change a few things and just to be, I am created. I am formed. So I could appear having my head, my eyes, this and that. There are certain things that will always change. Yeah, that you should allow it to happen. The Lord needs it more. And you also need it functionally in your whole life. You can't do without it. Thank you. Now, quickly, I must take this. Let's take something from the hymn now. Yeah, it's very important. And say that it's so important. Listen here. I am gonna just take something. Now we've had few minutes gone already. So let's go open to hymn now number 8. Hymn number 8. Look at what the Lord is able to do. Let me try to commentate to me. No worry, no problem. Um, so let's look at this quickly. Don't judge. Don't prejudge. This reason, I am here. But if you wish to pray that, Lord, send us your Messiah or the one of strength, energy. All these people, when they come, we will benefit a lot from them. Then why we did not play such is the one that the Lord will say, yeah, of this few I need to do this. So quickly as we go, let's so we say hymn 8. Let's take it quickly. Hymn 8. I'm gonna open. Just look at how the spirit perform their duties and carry their weight. I want to see what we are doing right now with this. So important. Let's say hymn 8. We're not wasting time. Listen to what the hymn number 8 is. I'll read out to you. as reading it, or I'm making it. I make something, so I make it. Work out here. Now it says there's praise and adoration. This is a spiritual part. So already made choosing for you spirit, and you are led by spirit. Things that you come talking about, or the news that you break here, should be also related to that. So the whole section that is under this, like human number 8 that I'm going to read, it is spiritual things right here. So it's praise and adoration. So it's a spiritual song here. Now listen and listen well. Human number 8. I'm going to take it here. It says praising the Lord always. So it's as what I'm doing now. Like I told you that you need to praise the Lord. How? I did tell you that. Let's meditate all the time. But you know it's very important. You are asked to do this. There's no way you find yourself in a kingdom on this earth or hereafter that there's no rule. Really, in every place, in every situation, there's a rule that applies. So if God is sending someone who is after his own heart to rule the whole earth, really ruling the whole earth, it means that this person would have carried a lot and have gone through a lot before coming to tell something. So before we even tell something, we know that the Lord has. It's good that I show you what it is, and this is why some people, by the time they get finished or they get to the finish line, they would have gotten this out. Like a whole lot that happens. We will not waste so much time here. Let's read. It says, praising, praising the Lord always, praising the Lord always, praising the Lord with all your heart, praising the Lord with all your heart always. Yes, God is good. Yes, God is good. Yes, God is good. He is good to me. So it's a few things that is so related to me. Except you also one of these people, like one of us, like can receive it because it's already spirit and made up of spirit completely. As I show you this, I am laying more emphasis on the cocoa today because if someone need to wait or need to produce cocoa for Milo, that's why we kind of today we look like this. So whatever happens in the spirit part or the house of the Lord is known to the Lord and to that person is directed to. Yes, so you see the cocoa as mature cocoa. Yeah, you love it. Now, right after this, I'm going to take another portion quickly. Now let's go here. There's information here. That information is very important. You need it. That's why I leave it to you to read. So if I read this and it's so important, then to you it should be something very great and fashionable because through me you are getting this information. And those who promise you that person who should bring you sad things, you didn't have it. And here our topic, we were not going to be treating it as topic, but we have to have it like something that is functioning in our life. What love can do. Even this person whose book I'm reading here, I don't think you know anything about him in the Bible or Quran, but there may be a few things that have it as reserved. But I'm not going to talk much about the person, but the name is also important here because we said it is Jacob, it is a son of Jacob who's called God, like G-A-D. So this, you can have that. Now, I'm not going to prove things, but let the screen prove it. You now have it. The reason why I discover a way to present to you some of these things so that it makes it quite. Then do consider the ways of the uh, cocoa and the one who is linked to what the words like things and the one who develop it and also present to you. I'm getting more help from this. I must say that. So you to see it as very important. But before this thing comes into place and working, we really have to do a lot. It means it should be given to you before you can talk about it. If we're not given to you, my friend, you would even end up messing up everything, even as we are promised to moving on. Well, I'm going to be talking about life and death as well. But that's not the main thing. But listen, it is for one person, a reason. How you see someone to be Satan, the flesh as is your neighbor is more than this name. But the spirit power in the manifestation power of Satan is greater than you. Yet you don't have the spirit that makes certain things how it is with Satan, and you rather have a like you have the worst behavior. You have the worst behavior because you don't play a role in the life of people. But to someone, here's like they're doing it. So I just want us to pay more attention to what it's really saying here, so that as it produces it, then we tell you more about it because it's supposed to be love and hatred. But do you have this person written in the Bible or the Holy Scripture? Where is it? But they have their own book. Like there are a lot of findings that should be giving you certain things. You need it. It's because it's not written in the Bible, and that's why most people don't talk about it. And the Bible itself makes it clear to you that look, not everything that happened that is in the Bible. But if you are not this spiritually, you have to be given by the Spirit. If not, you don't even know how to get to start something in your day. You have no idea how to start something. And so if it becomes very difficult for life to continue, it means someone is to what? Someone is to be able to get you this information you need it. Because without it, you cannot live. Life is very important. Yet life has its own rule. You can belong to a church, but that is not life for you. It is only a rule that makes you what, be fit, like a rule that allow you to be in that gathering, under that gathering. But it doesn't really give you the key to heaven. For heaven itself is even different from the church and what the church even says heaven. Thank you very much. So today, here we are. I said we're going to look like this so that you know that today is a different person coming to do his work. Like myself, though, I don't know. Even the facial expression should tell you that when it comes to our serious business, someone only need me to be something else and another to another. So as you see it is different to another person. So let what you see be it. But to me, I wish that you see it more beautifully or handsome power. Let's see if we can do something here. It was very important talking about this. Today, let's see. Let me reposition because what I'm going to be doing here uh, is for you to listen and listen more. That's why I show you this, and today I look really very different because what the Lord wants, that's not what you want. The Lord's expectation is not your expectation either. So let's check quickly. I want to do this. Today, that's what we want to, like, let's talk about this. A few more of this here. Yeah. Now, there's a reason here. Let's look. I have a special number that is discovering this today. So it's that number, not that the number just appeared, but I live with certain people as we travel or as we live. There's a place we live, but you don't belong to that place. And so sometimes it's strange to hear those things, but it's not strange that you don't need it. You need it, but just that you don't know how you can have it. But if not for this reason, also wouldn't be going about having this or discovering. Now here, let's take this reading quickly before I move into any other thing. Now, here we are. This is the number I want to tell you about, like 24 or 6. Yeah, we're going to be talking marginally. Something very important about this. Now, I did not have to choose this number also, and I know it because I was told this number. I was told. Yes, I was told. Like, I have a discussion with this person, like I was right there where I am placed. And that's why we need this number, but you need it also here. So let's see what this number is supposed to do or what it's supposed to tell us here. So that it's not just someone writing to you a book or course to study that you really have to pay and pay so much that you can say that sometimes because you don't have money, that's why you can't pay. Now here you have it for free, but it's more even expensive than having anything to pay. But if you know what it's going to do for someone or myself, there we can say. Now listen, here we are. This is a book. This we can say these are some of the lost books of the Bible, or the lost book of Holy Scriptures or the Heavenly Creator. For you can continue discovering, and yeah, that's so important. Now let's quickly take it. This 24 here says this. It was a great book that has this because of the number and what is given me. Now here it says, for the spirit of hatred worketh together with Satan. So for you to know that sometimes you have to know that any behavior or character you see in a person or a human, you should just relate it quickly. As I say here, you have to know what spirit is driving that person so that it's better you keep yourself away or distance yourself from that person, for you have known that person already. Why would you keep that person for? I want to tell you why it's important. So if you get to know this, then quickly you have to distance yourself or make sure you get out of those places because you know that person already. And for this person, you know you can't stand them. So there's no way you could waste any time or just concentrate here. It says, for the spirit of hatred worketh together with Satan. So whoever is already, you don't have to go out there and look for anybody called Satan. That person next to you. Yeah, so I was talking much more of you and knowing who you are and the flesh and the one next to you. So my somebody. But this person I say is so important to the creator, to the creator almighty, even than human being who claim to have something a portion given give bigger or greater. For I did tell you why in this, those who war at people or war against nations and kingdoms, they need a power to do this. You don't need a weak vessel or weak person to do that either. And so I say, if you see your neighbor proving a kind of lifestyle or behavior or putting on this kind of attitude, you should quickly know that that is the spirit and the manifestation power or the attitude of that spirit is what you are seeing. So that we have been told, like you know that one of them is what? Hatred. So if you see someone working with this, it means that that's not your friend. Except you are one of them, then that's simple. You made it so simple. That's why you probably work together. And I don't know how even hate and hate could work because there's no way you could even make it. It's a whole distraction that befalls both of you. Mhm. So, so listen here. Now it says, true hastiness of spirits. I hope you understand what hastiness of spirit is. Like I told you, that's why even in Christ, all the spirit itself, he didn't make and make you understand that he was going to come quickly. He said, "For I come quickly." You know why? It's very important. You don't even know. Even having having said this, let's calculate. Take a few calculations now here. Consider those calculations now. And you'll see that even coming quickly is more than saying there's no where that was written like coming quickly. Yet we live and we see those things here now. So let's look at the spirit of hatred or Satan or what all these things really will end up in a person's life or the flesh that is being manipulated or being driven by this spirit of hatred. What you end up here we are, it says, true hastiness of spirit in all things to men's death. So you see, certain things will just happen your way or just come your way. And it will speed it, it will multiply or double up those situations at just instantly. Or in that instance or that moment where you see a thing happen to your life and you really love that thing and you want to continue to love that thing because it's giving you some kind of result. So, and that thing recurring, and you're not able to stop in it, is that reason why we chose and not just chosen, but why it's written and said what? Through hastiness of spirit. For you don't even know how it will end you, but the things that it would have, like it would take a mile away from you. Let's continue to this part. And it says here, it said, but so at the end of the day, at the end of the whole battle, it is death that is the result. And it's for this that I want to choose nothing but tell you what it is. For you to know those who work truly for the Lord Almighty, yes, having laid himself down for you to live. So that if now the Lord is about to do a new thing again, but revenge, if the Lord if the Lord revenge, then you know why. He gave you a portion first and you didn't choose that one. And you chose a different thing. So because of that, he's going to show you the other side of what he's trying to say that you didn't know. Yes. Now listen, as we read on. It says, but the spirit of love worketh together with the law of God in long suffering. Another point. Oh my God. This is a book that is written for who? Jacob and one of his sons. I think he's a eighth son, whatever. We just need the information. So that it is written about these people. For you to know that what is so new that you didn't find. Or do you not read the same Bible and you find most of these things? Like, just know that God's spirit runs through people. And when you see anything written of God, you know it. You should be able to identify because of the spirit. Whatever is here, love is written here. It says long suffering. I'll begin it. When you read the Corinthians, you'll see all these things there. So it's likely certain things you miss, you need it more, even than that. Because these things are now the holiest things you need to make a new discovery. So it says, but love, listen here, it says, but the spirit of love worketh together with the law of God in long suffering unto the salvation of men. So this is unto the salvation. So even though you see most people suffering, like going through the hell of it in the earth and where places are, like sometimes you can't take yourself off it because this is it. But do we really have to end it? How? You can't even end this. Things that God has really done or the Spirit have done. There's no way. Except they show you how. Except that time has come that they should end it. So don't look at me like I was trying to tell you that today. I look, Beameko, that, yes, in the studios, but in the Coco studios. Thank you, my hand. I'm still showing up here. I wanted to concentrate on this. The message is so important to me, so that I will not look either what you think or what someone is also thinking. But the message here is so important on my channel. Teach it because that is not their level. Even your prophet will not preach this. That is not their level. But or you're having it like a vision. This is what I'm saying. So that you can use all things written of or inspired of God to make a teaching. Because if it was led by this spirit, you will see it. Okay, it's connected. Now let's move here. You could just make it clearer. Just I want to read. I hope you can see what I'm reading from. Here is what the testament of some kind of wonderful people. So like God, God. So if someone is talking about God, this gentleman here, you haven't known him yet. You don't know him. You don't know what he could do. If you mention this person, then you are going to talk about somebody. Let's go on. Maybe we'll find a few material about him. But it's good to hear and see that because the same God can do this either sides. Like he will show you love, maybe at the end, he will show you the devastation part of him because you chose that. And so he's going to replenish all those things too. Now, listen, for whatever is spirit of hatred, it says, just look at it. It sides with someone. It moves along with something. That is what? Satan. That is spirit of hatred. Worketh together with Satan. And now look at it. Through what? Hastiness of spirit in all things to man. In all things to man's what? Death. So whatever it is, and whatever you kind of trying to say that is it and not, has nothing really to do with this message, but it really works something out. It says what? It says what? In all things to man's death. So whatever you do, and that's the reason when you see people dying, because no one has come to redeem them. And for whatever the world have always, taught you, it's the same thing from that generation of your whatever, your days. Because I have not known those days. What I believe to see in this life is to get in this or bringing you something important, something that you need, and you and I need it. But if we now share the kind of love that is greatest, you will know why it was better offering yourself as that kind of pleasant sacrifice, and later finding it worth giving it up like that, so that the Lord who promises one thing, giving you thousands of it and billions of it. He is that sure and true God. Back here to discover this, but I would say that no, let's find out where this thing is applied more for you to also say, oh, because we find this worth reading. The reason why you don't read this book is because you have nothing about it. You don't know it, and because it's not found in the holy books that they claim. But there are a lot of things. Whatever I tell you, if I see such a thing and I tell you why, I just look for a thing that should match up with it. Then you know why this thing is very important here. So let's continue reading. But you should know that the spirit of love worketh together with the law of God in what you should note here is what? In what? Long suffering. If you have money or whatever you call or claim to be money, and your fellow, your colleague hasn't this, like they don't have this equal opportunity to what you have, yet you say we are all flesh and all have false short. No, it's not like that. This will not apply here. For what you see is different from what he's saying. Even though you all have the same, like you have flesh, but it's not same flesh. I have bread. I need to eat of a sweet, powerful thing that's giving more. Thank you. Well, let's continue. We have a lot, and it's getting more interesting, but tougher as it is. God, I told you the Spirit should work it out, so that for you and I to understand more. Then let's see why you carry this message across board, all board, universally. And there's a reason why you should always subscribe to my channel and share what I speak and share with people. People you have known and people you have not known, because this is so new that you don't even know why certain things are not kept in the Bible or the Holy Book. Meanwhile, you read in a part of the Bible, they will tell you, thou shalt not take out of it neither you adding. Look, for all this, you don't understand it. It's having a different meaning. There's a total different meaning, and that's why you see these things happen the way it is. It's a mystery to you. But the one who carry the reality at hand, when they say the kingdom of heaven is at hand, you know that someone lives. Just look at what I'm saying. But whatever led you into this long suffering, he says at the end, it will give you life. But if I tell you what I have when it comes to human and spirit relationship, and why you enjoy certain things without knowing where it's coming from, except you get up or rise up to knock, set, and seek before you get to know this. And when you find something, it will baffle you that you found that really living like this. But you won't believe in the first place that, but why? This little one, I'm not older than you and stuff like that. It's not, that's not the news. The news is you found it, and that you really couldn't believe that, or you can't believe that. You can't believe your eyes seeing that. Yes, because for all you know about Bible or any religion is claims. They have only claims. Because why is it not a claim? You have to prove why it's not a claim. You don't also make only reference. Reference cannot produce the answers. Or look, reference. So all churches or religions are based on what? References. Yet it's not, that's not what we need now. You don't need a reference. You don't know who fulfills those things. That's what you need. So when you see a church and think the church is bigger, and you go or you attend a church that is big, that is not. You are lost. That's not what you need, because all the basis of the churches and foundations and things, they are all based on references. But if you didn't find that thing, you cannot make your point clear. Even that is not a point that you are making. You're only trying to say that you are reproving that this is written. But to those who really make it clear, understandable, they are workers of those things you are speaking. So maybe you are only out there to speak it or say it, yet you don't even understand what you say. But when those who work it out comes, you know that, oh, it's on the hand, like it's at the fingertip. Yeah, like, thank you so much. So, so at the end of the long suffering, we are promised something. You and I are promised something. Except you were not in my shoes, or except you are not in the Coco Studios right here. Then what we have is I chose, I chose to be what? I chose to have life, and you chose to also, suffer at the end and gain nothing. That's why there are certain things you have it and it's giving you that delight, even though that's not delight. You enjoy doing this. Those things that do not really have any meaning to the creation of God and heaven and earth. Say that you are blessed when you say that, and yes, make a point. Strength, health, life. Oh, there are a lot of things that you call blessings, and those things are supposed to only come from heaven. You can only be favored when the Spirit touched someone. You think the Spirit have no hand to touch you? Maybe what the church tell you, that's not what I'm saying here. The Spirit really, they are living, like they are flesh like this. Just that you cannot see with your physical eyes. And those who see with their physical eyes, you don't know what happens to them. That is, say you have moved or you have been moved out of the physical part, and now you live a like you live both physical and invisible world. That's what it means. And nobody can explain except you. And you and the Spirit can tell more about it. So let's read this and move to the next stage, because whatever we see here is why we are here today. I had a battle first before getting these things all working for you here. Now, it says what? So let's take that part again. It says, but the Spirit of love worketh together with the law of God in long suffering unto the salvation of men. So you are at the end. So if you just suffer without having, life, if your suffering did not pay you with something, life as a spirit, or my God, someone is really in need of this. Thank you. Let's move it quickly. Now we could do this. We could go back, like let's step back to the 23. We love it more. Let's take it. Says, let's read. Someone could be reading too. But for us love would quicken even the dead, and will call back them that are condemned to die. Obligate, this is what you really need. If you ever live as flesh and you died, and you can have this flesh back to live again, or you can have any form or format of living again, that will make it meaningful to say that truly the word that was spoken is promised, and because of that, something must happen, and so it did happen. Wow. Why won't you leave? You will definitely leave. You don't have to go by the kind of belief system of things, and that it wouldn't work. Life, you can have any foundation of any religion or churches or things like that. This is whole different, whole different, whole different. Now let's read on quickly, because we won't be wasting much time on certain things. Like, go on here again. So if you were able to make it, listen here. Clearly is written, those who were called. So even if you were condemned to death, a spirit and a power is telling you that, look, one day we'll call back to live again. That's all my point is. Now read on quickly. Now listen here. So hatred will slay the living, and those that had sinned venially, it will not suffer to live. How we get it? So in all things, there's a judgment to either live or die. So this is why you can't limit yourself to a religion and think that's over. It's not ended. But even those who promise to come back, do you see them yourself? Do you know them? But by their work, you shall know those who have really, those who have returned to this earth. Thank you. You and I need what I'm saying. Because if your church wouldn't tell you this because they have no any key to open it, then how should it work? It won't work out. If you are taking this, for instance, this is a testament written, and a testament of someone. Yet you don't find these things written in the Bible or the Holy Quran or whatever book, and you now have it because it's working, because there's a flesh and spirit that agree to bring this out, because you need to know about it. Because here it is clear. If you need the worst thing ever to talk of hatred, yeah, this is the only definition you can give it to hatred here in this book. In this very part of the book, you will see why hatred is there. And you cannot take hatred without talking of love. So these two works together like that. Okay, so let's move. As you heard me, I want to try my little to state clearly here. Now look at it. Now take for instance the number 25 here. Reading number 25 says what? For it says, hatred therefore is evil. So know that hatred was not just, it was not just telling someone this is, a spirit that had to work with Satan or somebody something. Now hatred has been expanded to a level again, to another level. So you cannot just have someone and say that is all. There's something hidden. So if you don't read more, you don't find out more, and you don't get to know, think it's over. What of the other books uncovered? Must go on to discover more. But it's the spirit's duty. That's why someone who receives a spirit from the heaven or you know of the heavens, they suffer more. But then you try to, sometimes you prejudge or you try to judge them because they suffer. You think that, oh, they've done this wrong and do. Wow, who wastes his time to read this or whatever I'm doing now? You wouldn't waste your time because you don't have it. You don't have it. You are not even tuned to this level, to this level of thinking or life to make it happen, or your dreams will not even connect you to anything. So sometimes, like I said, when you die, you just died and you can't come back to life. Because who is going to give you the promise? Who did you work for? At least you should have a spirit or a kingdom. That is what you needed. You don't need a church to belong to a kingdom. Because it's more dangerous to attend or belong to a church or religion, and at the end, you miss the whole person that they are all talking about. Or that the person they claim to be talking about did not come from any of the religions. That is more dangerous. Because I'm seated here, I'm not a church goer. I'm telling you straight away, I'm not a church goer because the Holy Spirit only visits churches. But we also came as it is that we should learn. Yeah, you don't know. When you are called, you know it. Your doings will tell you. And it's not easy though, but because it was spirit, look, whether your body suffers or not, the spirit will make sure you finish it and do it. And if they said, no, you are not going to fail, you will not fail because it's led by the spirit. You don't know who would have laid these things down for you. So let's quickly read. I must read. It says, hatred, therefore, is evil, for it constantly mated with lying. So that's why most people speak a lot of lies. So when you bring in now quickly your politics, when you bring in most people like the men of God, the pastors, the prophets, they lie to you. They make promises, swollen promises, yet they don't give you what you need. They don't give you what you need. So how can you make it now? Are you a witness to them lying to you, or they seduce you with or by something that whether they did it or not, is you only say one thing? Oh, but would you not come to a realization that they make something out there, that they've given you this and that? So now who is lacking something? Who is lacking behind this information? So they speak lies to you. Your church speak lies to you. Your religion speak lies to you. Your prophets, not all though, I'm making my point. Because as for all you know, sitting here and telling you this, I'm not saying that the whole world is lying. Because once I leave, you know that at least there are few of them that are not in this. But that doesn't mean that I should not catch you when I have to catch you. I will catch you, definitely catch you. Look, I have my colors here, just for a reason. You don't know why it should be here. Now let's continue quickly. Now it says, speaking against the truth. So now, can you make a clarity of this, out of this? Listen, if you see me and you see the pastor or a prophet, now how are we going to be able to know ourselves? Because it's not by preaching the word that makes someone called. But this is the most difficult part. That's why most people are also being deceived by just going to church or attending church. That they claim they are what? They are a group of this and that. They think they are in heaven. My God, the Spirit is so brilliant, telling you and speaking to you. Like in your tongue, you should understand what I'm saying. Because if I should speak in a different language now, wow, another thing happens. Who would now explain? So let's get it after this right now. Thank you so much, the Spirit of the Lord. The ones who really recalling that came truly to explain more and throw light on this for you and I to be gloriously also accounting for that day and this day. Thank you so much. Let's read also continuously. Now it says, so for those who lie, those lying tongues, they speak against the truth. But how would you know who is truthful and who is truth? I show you Coco. Someone will come and tell you about building, like the church building. Whilst we need a Coco, just the Coco to say that truly it is Coco. But they are also pointing to you somewhere that whatever they are saying, that is true. That it should not be spoken. It is, oh my God. Go deeper into that line because it's going to affect something. But not later. Even I don't call it God when it, at the point where I say God, that is God. Where I say Lord, that is Lord. Where I say love, that is love. For I know those who are doing these things because we calling someone who is bigger, someone whose spirit was at that day, that time, on that, when you were not born, when this world that we live in, a technological world, was not born, but it was already living. So if it wasn't living, like it would never succeed in this day or our days. I believe the whole generation again. Yet people have not known what the ways of the Lord is. Yes, so they are just one of these that will show you the ways of the Lord. Not your church pastor preaching, not your whatever prophesying vain. Or if there were a lot of things to talk about, then you go and tell about it. You're going to tell somebody you need marriage and this and that. Look, all these things have no place in the heavens. But when you have the heavenly love, you see that all women will love you in the way, in the first place. Not every woman too, because we know those who are virgins. So if you're not a virgin already, that's a question mark there. Because you don't have someone who is a virgin become a culture for anybody, just anybody at all to get up and say, I'm marrying and we are married. A bit moving quickly because for one word can explain the whole world that we live in today. Quickly move. For it's important to note that hatred, this is for the spirit that brought it, made it known to you. Now you don't see text written in the Bible about such a person. Yet this person, about him, he's telling you what he should live. Because of his behavior, it is very important because you do more, you do worse than those days. I must tell you straight away. You do worse than those days. That's why it's here now. So the hatred, therefore, is evil, for it constantly mated with lying, speaking against the truth, and it maketh small things to be great, and causeth the light to be darkness, and calleth the sweet bitter, and teacheth slander, and kindleth wrath, and stir up war, and violence, and all covetousness. It filleth the heart with evils and devilish poisons. Oh, my holiness. Somebody, I know you love that, and I love you too. If you love that, subscribe to the channel and let's learn in the way of the Spirit. Like you live though, when you sleep, then you know why you live. There's so much joy in sleeping. So now when you are suffering and you want to sleep and you can't even find one way to sleep. But then the one who have carried this victory right down here onto this earth where we live, wherever I am, we are, we live. The Lord is doing this. How we can see what is hidden that you need from those things so that when the Spirit brings it up here, it will be very useful to you and I. So why I'm choosing are not even virgins, and they have not even in the spirit, not even the gift of the Lord, they have none. So due to that, they go up there telling people what they don't have. You are to have somebody. You're the woman that have money, like the paper note, or you have a house, you have a car, you have some kind of business going on. You are the one that we need in the house of the Lord. Like the church only deceive you and try to take from you what you have and what you work for. But you who don't have that husband, then you look for a good husband as heavenly, somebody who should come from heaven telling you about heavenly things and those things that you really need. Yes, this is true. Thank you, somebody, for listening here. Let's move again on and see here. I'm sure we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, we'll find something very interesting telling you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that, and say to the Lord who brings you this. May the Spirit that led us to doing this today make you feel somewhere, make you have a great answer. Like you should just don't have it as in the expectation of men and what they want you to have. Like say that the Lord should give you something bigger than what human imagine. Because if human begin to know the ways of the Lord, then let the Lord. It's very important for you that we are here. It is needful. Whilst we have other people on that, like myself, I need food. I need um, dollars to live by this. The Lord did build. Now you give those dollars. They take your dollars. They seduce you and keep in their bank account. Would you not to the widow, the needy, and all of that? For the proper searching, more intelligent searching, to know who. If a white man gives you money, or if the charity or a philanthropist gives you something, maybe they might have different shadows that will keep them from maybe monitoring or getting certain, but they know that they did it. That's why they themselves have their own foundation now. So if a white gives you something or a good person gives you something, it is his duty to also watch out and monitor, a responsibility that should give him or carry about, to examine whether what you were given. And just give them the money to go and lavish around this and have girlfriends and that. As for me, I'm not saying girlfriend. The women have already chosen that. You who makes it, you who have found something, you are the wife or you're that you are called in. I don't need anybody than you who have it, and you just need someone. Like you don't need a man. You don't even need a man in your life. I know, for there are a lot of people who don't need men in their life, but there's a reason why you need only this person. Because even the statement or the script here tells you something. For you to know why certain things they just work out, they don't work out. Thank you. I'll join you once again. Quick break. When we return, you enjoy the moment again. Thank you. Shalom.